Boom. Ah, that's good. Another successful start. We're off to a good start here. I appreciate that. Whew, everything's good. All right, everybody. Hey, let me introduce myself since you may not know who I am and maybe you just stumbled on the show because of bad drinking. I am Louis Porter Jr., and this is Transparency Agenda Daily for December the 1st, 2016. It is December. We are getting ready for a countdown to Christmas, which means I got to buy gifts for people. If you're getting a gift, you might get coal. You never know for me. It's one of those kind of things. It happens some way. Yeah, today is our Thursday show. Thursday show is a little fun show. It's a little more relaxed, a little more, let's not get crazy. We're going to have some fun stuff that I like. So today I decided to talk about, initially when I first started, let's talk about some 90s films, some indies 90s films. And then all of a sudden I was going through films I was liking, and I found like two films. They're both from 1989. I'm like, well, maybe I'm making more of a specific year. I'll talk about a very specific year of stuff to watch. I said, okay, let's do some films from the year 1999, which is a good year, right before the millennium, everything so-called changed. So I picked four films. Three of them I really like. I'm big fans of. Some will actually be surprising, and one I really hated. God, I hated this film. Oh, with a passion. It's one of those. It was definitely an indie film, but God, I've always hated this film. It was like ridiculous. This film could have been so much better, but it was absolute garbage. Well, that's not true. It was absolute garbage. Yeah, it was absolute garbage. All right, so let's start off with our first movie from 1999. This movie is a movie that I learned about. I guess it's because I was big in indie. During the 90s, I was very big on indie films. And a lot of friends were big on indie films, just watching stuff from overseas and stuff like that. So my buddy Matt Sanger, hey Matt, what's going on? We watched a lot of movies, and I saw a lot of stuff from Hong Kong, and that kind of got me even more into independent films. And one of the a very cool director that heard so much about, I didn't actually see none of his stuff, but I kept saying, "Oh, you got to see this guy's films. He's a great director." A gentleman by the name of Jim Jarmusch, and I didn't know that much about him. I'd seen pictures of him, like, this guy's kind of crazy looking. I mean, how could his films be? So we go on. I get this film, and Forrest Whitaker appears in it. And the premise was crazy to me, and some of the acting was insane, and just the setup was really cool. And the film I'm talking about is Ghost Dog. Hey, Alan. Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. It is one of those kind of films that if you like cool independent films, you got to watch it. It is great. I think this one is a total awesome amount of time. It is really great. It is incredibly fun. I think, stylistically, it's shot in a really cool way. The premise basically is Forrest Whitaker plays this black guy who just happens to be a hitman for the mob and becomes this mobster. Saves his life as a young kid, so he decides to go and be this guy's assassin for him. And I'm shortening it up, but this is what happens. And it's just the acting's great, the story's great, and some of the stuff that goes on in the film is really great. And I don't want to ruin one scene. Actually, I can't tell you about it, but it's really good. There's some really interesting stuff. There's also some, basically, Forrest Whitaker's character plays Ghost Dog. He plays this modern day samurai. He very much focuses on, I'm a modern day samurai, and I'm going to be like a modern day samurai. He lives very much like that way. And I forgot the actual name of the book he follows. It's not like the Book of Five Rings or things like that. It's a minor known work for samurais. But one of the things that always stuck with me is that the book tells you, imagine every day you're being torn to shreds or you're being killed over and over. And you do that every day, you think that. So you'll act in a way that you will think that today is your last day. So you'll always put the best forward. You always do that. It's a very interesting, very, very interesting idea and concept. I don't know if it was the greatest thing ever, but I loved it. I loved the film. It's one of my favorites. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Plus, it's just cool to watch. If you're into films and you're into watching very cool stuff, pick it up. Ghost Dog, you'll be very, very happy. You will not go wrong with this one. The next film is a film that I love because it is so crazy, and the story behind the film and the stuff that happened after the film makes it even more interesting. It is a great film about a city I hate. Oh my God. Oh God. Let's talk about a city I don't like. Oh, never liked the city. I grew up in Connecticut, Boston. I never liked Boston. Never, ever liked Boston. Nothing about Boston. I'm Connecticut. That, keep your everything. I don't like Boston. This movie was set in Boston about two brothers and their rambunctious things that happened to them and how they basically want to become crime fighters. And that's the best way to describe it, because they're not really crime fighters. It's just some things go wrong and then they start to become, I guess you call them, religious crime fighters. And it's some of the best one-liners I've ever heard. It explains something I didn't know, like rule of thumb. It's like you couldn't, and it's explaining that you couldn't beat a woman or your spouse with a rod thicker than your thumb. And one of the guys responds, "Could you imagine if it was, by a wrist? I mean, look how, oh my God." And it was like, it's very important. That's not very important movie, but it's very important as a cool indie film. It's got a great shootout. William Dafoe appears in it in one of the greatest William Dafoe roles ever. And my God, I couldn't laugh more in that film. He's hilarious. The film is great. If you don't know what it is by now, it's called Boondock Saints. If you haven't seen it, oh God, if you haven't seen it, I don't even know what to say to you. Boondock Saints is an awesome, awesome film. It only gets better as the film goes along. There's some funny things that happen. Ron Jeremy appears in this film. It's like, why you always need rope? Why rope is important? And the prayer they say before it all, everything about this film is awesome. And if you want to get some more cool things, this film came out, it was a big success, big hit. And there's a film, it's called Overnight Success. I think you can still find it on Netflix. I'm not going to put in the link and just tell you about it. It talks about the guy who came up with the writing for this movie and this whole story, what happened to him. And it was a very weird story, and it's very kind of interesting. But I suggest watch Boondock Saints try to find, you can find Overnight Success. They're two good films. Overnight Success is just amazing to watch. It's a great little add-on to this. That's all I'm going to say to that, just that. So yeah, Boondock Saints. If you play, yes, Indira Gale, that movie is the best. I have awesome taste. Don't you know this already? Girl, come on, get it together. My personal nurse is on watching today, so I got to tell her, like, she doesn't know, like, I don't know that's awesome and stuff. Oh my God. All right, so the third movie I'm going to talk about, this is a film, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what you all say about this, I love this film. It's one of my favorite films. I don't care what kind of laughing you're going to do about it. I don't care. I love this film. I watch it over and over. This film has inspired me to do some stuff. I'll tell you that at the end of describing this film. This film has some very funny scenes. It is, was it Much Ado Enough? No, Taming of the Shrew is an update, high school version. A lot of people appear in it are like, at the time they appear in it, they're not well-known actors, and a lot of them have, basically everybody who's major in this has gone off to do major things. Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, Jason Gordon-Levitt. The film is 10 Things I Hate About You, which I love. I love that film. I have a love of high school teen drama stuff. That's why everybody knows I'm a big fan of Degrassi, Edgemont, even 90201 kind of, Saved by the Bell. I like those kind of TV shows. I always have and I always will. And so 10 Things I Hate About You is really the one that has pitted me as like, I could do that as a show. And that kind of always inspired me to do a show that I've been developing in my head for years. It's called Mercy Beach. That's right. I've got a name for it too. It's crazy. It's a whole high school scene and it's awesome. And because of that, I think 10 Things I Hate About You is a great movie. Filmed a lot of places in Seattle. I think the school actually is in Portland, but they film around Seattle for most of the movie. So it's one of those great teen angsty films. I think there's a lot of great music in it. There's a lot of great funny scenes in it. You see Daryl Chill Martin while he's still walking. He's now crippled in a wheelchair because of a motorcycle accident. Yeah, so I think that was like one of the last movies he did when he was still walking. It's just a really good film. There's some very funny stuff, and Julia Stiles is really good in it. I always liked her in that. I thought she was a solid person in that one. And Heath Ledger, you see him. It's a good role for him. It's a good starting role for him. I think this might have even been before he did Roar for Fox. Look at that. Did Roar on Fox. A lot of people don't realize. I think that was before. He did Roar. I think that's 96. Oh, look at that brain. Look at this brain. It's an awesome brain. I'm giving you all this great knowledge. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You. Great film. Very enjoyable. You should go watch it if you haven't seen it before. I can't imagine who hasn't seen it before. But you maybe haven't. I don't know. You might be a communist for all I know. I just think it's a great film. I like it a lot. All right, and the one movie I cannot stand. Oh my God, I hate this film with a passion. I think it should be beaten to death with a stick. It is a film that when I first saw the trailer for this film, I saw it while I was at a comic book convention, gaming convention. And the first thing that ran through my mind when I saw this thing is like, what kind of idiot doesn't go out in the woods and bring a knife or a gun? I mean, like I said, I grew up in Connecticut, so I know when you hunt, you bring stuff with you. But this film was a brilliant marketing film. This film marketed itself with such a low budget, and the budget was ridiculously low. And I still wonder, where was the money? They spent I think it's like $50,000 to do this film. And I say the same thing. I'm like, where did they spend the $50,000 on? I can't see anywhere. I'm a fan of Desperado. Desperado was made for $7,000. I can see all $7,000 of the thing. This thing was supposed to be made for $50,000. I can't see where the money was spent. I have no idea. This film went on to become a super hit of, I say, found footage films, because that's the genre it developed. And my God, man, I thought it was as dumb as bricks. And the camera movement made me all sick. And it's just, I hated the film. And then the ending, I'm like, really? This is the ending? I'm like, oh, what a piece of garbage. Hated the film, thought it was stupid, thought they got paid too much. I was amazed they made all the money they made in this film. And then they made a sequel of it. It was even worse garbage. I'm like, oh my God, you're horrible. So yeah, this is the Blair Witch Project. I thought that was such a piece of, oh my God. I'm trying not to swear because I hated this film. Just hated this film. So yeah, absolute garbage, waste of time. Don't even discuss it. Piece of garbage. Watch it at your own risk. I think it's garbage. Boom. There you go. I'm done with that. All right. So this is the last show of the week, of course. We're going to have a lovely weekend. I have my work's dinner party, so I'm guessing there'll probably be some drunk stories and some inappropriate things happening. So I'll be talking about that on Monday. I'm hoping, but that'd be awesome. I mean, that would be really awesome. But that's about it. So, but also before I forget, before the subscriptions, we do all that. I want to thank everybody who supported our first Patreon. We just released our first level today at RPG Now. If you're a subscriber, you got yours yesterday. I also got to give the other guys subscribers theirs. But I want to say thank you so much. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I mean, all of us who've worked on this have been very proud of it. So it's great to see that it's actually out, and you can check it out. You can find our link. You'll see the link in here, or you'll go on and find it. Infinite Dungeon has been awesome. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this. All right, that's it. You all have a good weekend. Be safe. Tell your parents you love them, because you never know. Anything can happen. Oh, and always, boom, click a little button over here for YouTube, not for Facebook, because Facebook has it over here. It's kind of crazy. So click the little button and subscribe here on YouTube. We appreciate it. All right. You all have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you all later.